my most banger jokes I feel like I write in truly my worst moments. Do you feel that?
I feel like my worst moments are so much worse than yours, not to be competitive.
Hey, and you know what? Sure. Okay.
I think,
well, hey, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Hey guys, welcome to Friend Crush Podcast. I'm Yvette Segan, your host as always. Today we have an absolutely incredible guest. It's Ashley Gavin. She's one of my all-time favorite comedians. I met Ashley, I want to say like a little over a year ago, and I've had her on my shows a bunch, and she is just an all-time crusher, demolisher. Like, she's really, really fantastic. And today we talked about some really cool stuff. We talked about our sort of personal philosophies. We talked about, honestly, like free speech a little bit and how that impacts comedy and sort of how like we've evolved in our culture. It's a really, really interesting episode. I love hearing how Ashley's brain works. She is really, really someone to look out for as she just continues to rise, and she's incredibly talented. So I was very excited to talk to her today. And I think you guys are going to enjoy the episode. So let's freaking get into it. You gua sha?
I need to, because I've noticed like I'm like really puffy here, and then during allergy season, I was like, I'm getting puffier. I'm like, I thought it was just I was aging, but now I think it's the gua sha.
I gua sha.
I think I need to gua sha.
I think gua sha is the poor
Are we rolling? Because this is good shit.
No,
we are rolling.
This is good shit. Okay, no, I gua sha nightly. I heard you're supposed to do it in the morning, though.
I have no idea.
No,
my girlfriend knows.
Okay,
she could tell you.
Well, because she's, does she gua sha?
Because she's what?
I was going to say she's beautiful.
Oh. I thought you were going to go.
Okay, so here's something that Ashley will never let me live down.
I love it. I don't think it's negative.
No,
it
I
was
think
one of my favorite things I've ever experienced.
I was being respectful.
Yeah.
So we were out. Okay, so context. Welcome Ashley Gavin to the pod.
Hello. I'm gay. You need to know that. I'm gay, and if you're listening and not watching, I am wearing a backwards hat.
So you might know visually that Ashley's gay.
What a PC way to say, you look gay. She's very gay looking.
Hey, Ashley's fucking gay, No, so we were at, Ashley's wearing a big top, big pants, backwards hat right now, okay?
Yeah.
And you look amazing.
Thanks.
So, but that's all to say that we were at a show together. And you were trying to hit on girls.
Yes. I'm in an open relationship.
Which is important. Also, backstory.
Yeah. Not a creep.
There's a lot of lore here.
Yeah, there is.
To build up like this small incident.
And I'm not looking to date. I'm looking to hook up with someone and never see them again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's kind of like a mask.
Yeah.
So really it's down the plate for you. So basically I looked at Ashley. Ashley's talking about how she like turns women.
Okay.
Not turns, but like no, Ashley, I asked
Speaking
Ashley.
of being canceled by the gay community.
No, I know. Everything I'm saying right now,
You
I'm Ashley
can't
putting
say
my
turns.
Okay, cut that.
No, you can say it.
No, but Ashley was saying that
I want to. A lot of times
mind
women explore their sexuality with me.
you. And a lot of gay people
they don't like
that. But I was asking Ashley if she was okay with that or if
I don't
you even
mind.
wanted it. And you said that you were fine. And I was thinking about how like, oh yeah, maybe like a lot of women. Well, first of all, you're a very comforting presence in general.
Oh my God. I don't think anyone has ever said that to me. Thank
Really?
you so No, people say it, but like I think there's like a major divide of people who think I'm the most obnoxious, most annoying person. I wouldn't say it's like a 50-50 divide, but the people who hate me, they like hate.
So you're polarizing.
I'm polarizing. But then there are other people who like get it and like
I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, aw.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, I just had some questions about Ashley. And so I was like, well, you're mask.
And it was the funniest thing that I had ever experienced in my life.
Because I wasn't sure how you like identified it when I like
and
put
whispering
that on
it makes it okay. When you whisper it, it's like mask ?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't find it offensive for me to call you this.
Yeah. And then Ashley
Can you
laughed
imagine
so
if
hard
I was like,
you cried.
no?
Yeah. You're like, I'm actually really feminine.
I'm really feminine.
I'm like the most femme girl of all time. No, anyway.
But people might, you were right to whisper.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And now I'm screaming it.
Now you're screaming it.
But you weren't offended.
Mm-mm.
See?
Where are you from?
I'm from Westchester.
Yeah, I knew you're from New York. Because I was like, you feel like a city kid, but you're not quite a city kid.
No, I'm a little back and forth. You make me nervous.
You swing both ways.
I'm bi. Every time I'm with you, I question my sexuality.
That's the nicest thing anyone could say.
It's because you're masked. So I'm like, wait, I'm gay? I don't
so
know.
excited.
Anyway, but yeah, so you're I'm literally sweating right now. I'm already crying. Also, I went on Ashley's podcast.
Yes, and it was great. Both my podcasts.
And
both have done really well. People have really enjoyed you.
Oh,
Someone said about What's News with You, they were like, Yvette, Josh, and Ashley form a perfect equilateral triangle of comedy. They're all equidistant from one another.
Yeah, there's no overlap from all. Any of us.
We're really
in 3 different camps, entirely.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But yeah, so we were on one of your podcasts. We're having gay sex, and I feel like the end of that podcast, you were like, "Well, you're gay."
I think people think you're gay.
People do.
You got a few messages.
I got a message on Instagram.
Only one.
One direct, yeah. Well, okay, so I have a lot
there
of
were people in the comments that were like
Yvette's gay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we can go through them. Do you want to go through them?
Should we?
I'll pull them up. Tell your side of the story here.
Well, so I also got one DM recently. So Ashley was like, chime in the comments, like, do we think Yvette's gay?
That's my favorite thing to do on a podcast is go, listener, write in. And then write in about something just totally unhinged. Listener, write in. Do you think Yvette is gay? Put it in the comments.
But also, can I just say, gay women, their favorite hobby is saying that straight women are gay.
Yes. Well, there was an article that recently came out that actually validates this.
Really?
The article, it was in New York Magazine. I can find it. I can pull it up. And it was basically like, science suggests that no woman is straight.
Really?
It was like really like every woman is bisexual.
I believe that. You know what's so funny
So we've been right the whole time. Everyone has been telling us we're wrong.
No,
gaslighting us.
No one's saying you're wrong. Everyone's like, no, it's a sexual.
For a while,
really,
they were saying we were wrong.
Well, okay, no, I think you're right. And
Love Yvette, very exciting.
Oh. What else? What else is in there? No, I'm scared. They're like, she sucks. She's queer baiting. I'm not queer baiting. I'm bi. We're all bi. But I'm straight. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The girls that get it.
I had to stop the pod and go back to listen to the track. That was a choice. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's giving closeted gay boys saying, I have sex with women, I swear. I don't know who... Is that me or you?
Because I was having sex with... Because I have sex with men, and I'm like, no, but I'm gay. I don't know. I've had a few gay encounters.
What does that mean?
I've kissed a woman or two.
Yeah, I know that.
But nothing beyond that. So it's like, it's not...
Someone just wrote, you said, sometimes I wear hats. And someone just wrote, bruh. I don't know what that means.
They're telling me, like, they're grasping at straws to
Kinsey scale 4 to 5. Wiki says 6 is max hetero. Would you afford a 5?
Wait, so 6 is hetero and 0 is gay?
Yeah, or 1, I guess.
I'm pretty hetero.
You are giving totally mixed messages.
Yeah, agreed though.
15 out of 10 bisexual for Yvette.
Well, someone I think
can't be gay since I won't find a partner. If that's the only reason. Did you say that?
I did say that. Because, no, okay.
That's very closeted gay behavior.
Really?
Yeah, like, I'll never find someone. I used to think that all the time. Like, if I came out, like, how am I going to find someone? That's, like, 101.
Okay, no. No, so what I said was...
Oh, my God, I can't stop laughing from everything Yvette says about all her straight girl gay experiences.
You know what I will say is a really gay thing about me too is that I always have really intense female friendships.
Yeah.
Which I hear is like a very like gay girl vibe, like about to be gay thing.
Mm-hmm. My straight ex-girlfriend.
No.
So many of them.
Fia and I are platonic wives, for example. And that's not looking good for me. But I'm attracted to men.
The compet Yvette is displaying this episode has me rolling. Laughing, crying emoji.
Compet.
Laughing, crying emoji. Compet compulsive heterosexuality.
See, I'm learning.
Yeah. There's a master doc. It's crazy.
Everyone says they're going to send me the master doc and it's going to change my life. I'm scared of the master doc.
It's so obvious to me.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like, I don't know. But I was also very free.
Yeah.
I think I'm very thankful for my masculinity because I didn't have to like, if you're queer and you are very feminine, your people perceive onto you.
Yeah.
So then you like go that direction. I was thinking the same thing. You have to like go that direction. Keep that in. Do you want me to I could give you some tips.
Can you produce?
Yeah, I'll produce.
I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Just
now.
turn the monitor. I'll keep an eye on the...
Can you send me the master doc so I can go educate myself in the meantime, though, at least?
Just edit in the master doc.
But yeah, but for people like you, bisexual, feminine women.
You know what's really funny about women too is that we're like, I don't know if I'm gay or not. I need a book. Like what do you mean? like I don't think there's like a gay guy master doc, you know?
Because like, and this is where, oh my God, this is where it's so intersectional. It's like, ultimately it's about feminism.
Yeah.
It's about the male gaze.
And actually it's like literally about feminism. No, and really if you zoom out and tune in, it's like literally like, and it's like the patriarchy. Anyway.
But it really is.
No, but it is probably.
It really is.
Everything I do is for the male gaze. We're examining it.
Did you want to talk about anything else with me?
No, I just... Okay, so Ashley...
This is the funniest critique from the straight community is like, why do you always talk about being gay? But if I go to a straight podcast...
I'm still like, wait,
I am
but
not getting any other questions.
No, I know, because I'm...
I did Hannah's... Were you there at Hannah's pod?
Yeah.
It was a gay episode, and I love Hannah. Well, Hannah also has some latent...
gay stuff.
She was gay in a past life, apparently. Like there's a whole thing.
I don't think Hannah's gay at all.
Yeah,
I don't
Hannah
think so.
just has masculinity, and that's why people. Yeah,
Des is too handsome for Hannah to be gay.
Des is beautiful.
He's a beautiful man.
Actually, I would say an argument in the opposite direction.
You think so? You think he's too pretty?
Too handsome?
Yeah. I can see that too.
I think the straightest girls date ugly guys.
I mean, you're in it for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's just like I love a man.
Yeah.
Because men are like men in their most authentic form are like a little bit ugly.
Yeah.
They're so gross.
Yeah, and they're so handsome to me.
No.
No, I know. That's where I'm like, but I am straight.
Oh, what's going on with that guy?
Oh,
can we talk about it?
I don't know. Maybe we can talk about it, then I'll decide. But yeah, he DM'd me.
What?
Wait, actually, this is so funny. And I
saw some straight flirting in the wild, and me and Jen, we were enthralled.
Yeah. Well, so can I also say, as I was trying to be your wing woman when we were out that night, and you were like trying to hit on the Aritzia girlies.
Yeah.
And I feel like you repaid which is Ashley's type, by the way, if anyone's listening, which I think is really beautiful.
I'm gonna Google Aritzia girly just to see what we find.
Okay.
I really like having visuals. No, keep going.
No, and you kind of like repaid that because we were at a friend's party over the weekend, and this guy comes up to me and starts just like, how would you describe that moment as an outsider?
Sexually charged.
Sexually charged.
I thought they are gonna fuck right here, right now.
Oh my God.
I was like, are we interrupting?
And then, okay, Jen, out of the corner of my eye, we're all standing in a circle.
God.
It's like you, Jen, this guy, I think someone else was there. All of a sudden, he
Aritzia
comes up
girly.
to me. Beautiful. Perfect. And that's true. And that's your type?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, her Aritzia
Jen's
girly.
An Aritzia girly. Yeah, hot.
Aritzia girly.
I love Aritzia. I think it's like the homeland. It really is. It's like
it is the motherland.
It's like
I love the Aritzia dressing room where all the girls have to come out and sort of fight each other psychologically.
Yes.
And I get to watch.
Yeah. It's and it's silent. It's not
silent.
like there's no, and you're picking up on it because
I'm like on my phone.
Yeah. You have like the privilege of the boyfriend couch, but you have like the insight of like, I know what it's like to be a girl.
Yeah.
And so you can like see, because like
Yvette,
guys.
this is why I'm able to do what I do.
Which is, what do you mean? Oh, like hit on girls?
Hit on straight women.
Hit on straight women.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know exactly what's going on up there.
I really have no idea what's going on in the straight world. The straight world, all your little rules about dating.
Yeah.
I'm like a fucking idiot.
It's like a dance.
It is.
It really is.
So crazy.
That's why with this guy, I mean, you and Jen were so funny because you were like, you just evacuated. Like the second he came over to me, I like look around and everyone's gone. And it's just like me and him. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess everyone's like being. And then he like came, and then I went and talked to you guys later after like he and I sort of like stopped talking.
After the 45 minutes that you guys were eye fucking.
Okay.
He is a boner. You're standing in your own puddle. Like, it was just like, it was the most wildly sexual thing I've ever seen. And Jen and I were like, yo, like Yvette is pulling right now. Like this guy loves her.
Stop.
No.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
He's sort of a sexually charged. You're actually both kind of sexually charged people.
I felt like he and
Do
I
you
were
feel
kind
that
of
way?
matching each other in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of locked in. That's like my favorite thing to do, though. Like at a party, you
To
like,
lock in.
when you find like when someone to lock in with.
Sexually?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, like a flirt, like a heavy flirt.
See, this is hetero privilege. I've just never.
You've never had like a girl at a party and you're like, I don't know you, but like you're my wife right now.
Not for long periods of time.
Wait, so then I don't understand how?
Because unless I'm at a gay event,
Okay.
and I don't wait that long, if someone's interested in me, I get the number and I leave.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you say like, let's hang out later.
Leave them wanting more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to bomb this interaction.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I get too nervous.
Really?
If it's that long, what you guys were doing was tantric sex. Like that, like you guys were edging each other.
I didn't realize how palpable it was, but then everyone after that, like at the party, came up to me and they were like, what the fuck was that?
It was truly.
Because it was like we were all friends. It wasn't like he was like a friend of a friend. It was like kind of a close circle of people a little bit. And we're all just like on this roof. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, and when came over
Yeah.
and was like, what was
that? And
that
I was
with
like,
Yvette raw dogging that guy right here in front of all of us.
hey, and that's showbiz. So, no, but this is the thing about the straight world. So now that happened. Now I just go, okay, let's see what he does.
How could you not? If that had been lesbians, like
You guys would be married by now.
Yeah, you'd be girlfriends.
Fully like moved in.
You'd be like, I met the love of my life at the roof party.
Yeah. Well,
Like, no question.
yeah. I mean, listen, my interest is piqued if you're listening. I
He
just don't know.
is.
He's
He's
definitely
listening.
listening.
He's gone through the full back catalog. He's watched every one of your sketches.
But maybe that's what girls do. Do boys do that?
Go back through
Like
their
like,
podcast catalog.
engage in like, would he deep stalk me?
Yeah, it depends.
Depends.
If it went well, yeah.
If it went well.
Well, I didn't see this.
Dude,
You guys are talking like I kind of want some color in this. What are we talking?
there was a long arm brush. That's when I was
well, when
like,
he said goodbye.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that was, you
oh
were
my
so funny.
God.
You literally, he came up to me and said goodbye.
he
and
practically was tickling Yvette's arm. There was more than a, oh my God.
if a man
She
tickled
loved
my arm,
it,
I'd throw
didn't
up
she?
in a bad way. That's not what happened, okay? That's
You don't like to be tickled?
No, do you?
Like a tickle in bed?
Ugh.
You don't, after sex,
Grab me.
you don't want like a tickle?
Oh, God, no.
What?
Ugh, that gave me the chills. Like, ugh.
Who doesn't
You
want
like a tickle?
You like a tickle?
No.
No.
Like a tickle? No, you guys are wrong. Listener, write in. Do you like a tickle? Like what? Like a tickle? Who doesn't like a tickle?
Most people, I
I
think.
couldn't do a tickle.
Wrong. No, I object. You are objectively wrong.
All
Okay,
right.
Jen and I love a tickle.
Okay.
We call them scratchies. I scratch your
Oh.
back before bed.
See, this is why I can't be in a relationship. I can't do gay shit like that.
You're right. That was some faggotry, and I'm sorry I said it.
I can't do scratchies. Like, are you
You don't want to
serious?
do scratchy,
And me and my
scratchy.
Pookie, we do scratchy,
I
scratchies.
can call her my Pookie.
Do you guys do baby voice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not in public. We've actually had to be like, we have to stop doing baby voice in public. We've had
How long have you guys been together?
since it's a complicated story, but not actually complicated. We met before the pandemic,
Okay.
and I was like dating for marriage.
Okay.
I was like, I'm cool to hook up, but I like need to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I'm not ready for marriage. And I was like, cool. So we were dating, but then the pandemic hit. and we fell in love. So
And you were like, oh, wait, actually, we are de facto married then.
yeah, exactly. So after about a year of dating during the pandemic, we broke up, and we knew it was we were very aware. And it was painful, but there was no animosity. It wasn't like we broke up because of a fight. We broke up because we knew she wasn't ready for marriage.
Yeah.
And so we stayed friends. We didn't talk to keep it healthy, we didn't talk for a while.
Yeah.
Then a year and a half later, we got back together.
How did you guys get back together?
She came to me, which I thought was so important.
Yeah. I mean, well, she would kind of have to.
Yeah. And I'm so glad, because I was so sad.
Oh.
I was like, I kept dating and trying to find people, and like, I just knew Jen was it. So I was like but I was seriously like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't put any pressure on her. Like, it might not happen. So I was dating all these people that I thought were great, and then they like weren't great. Like, in a previous form of me, I probably would have like tried to date them more. But because I had met Jen, I was like, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And then she reached out to me, and we've been dating ever since. So we've known each other since late 2019.
Were you open when you guys got back together?
That's that's the other great thing about it. So when she messaged me, she was like, I miss you. And, whatever, pathetic whore.
Yeah. What a fucking bitch.
Yeah, huge bitch.
Jen.
I don't think I'm in this frame.
Looking at the wrong camera.
I'm looking at the wrong camera. Bitch. But, yeah, so I was like, well, are you ready for marriage? She was like, I think so, but I'm not 100%. And I was like, okay, so we're going to stay open until you're 100%. And then we were like, oh, this works really well, actually. So we just never closed it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I am so curious about an open relationship.
It rocks.
Okay.
And I'm not one of those people, I hate polyamorous people.
Okay.
I'm fully so polyphobic. If you're poly and you're watching this right now, not actually, but like...
But actually. But actually kick rocks.
No, I think it's just like, there's like, just like with anything, there's like people who are so into it that I'm like, please God, like,
yeah,
we're trying to get people to understand this.
Yeah.
Like, don't be that into it.
Some people are so into that part of their lives that it's like a job.
Yes.
It's like a whole ass job.
That's what the thing is. You can't have dreams and be poly.
That's
like, you can't
how
have goals and be poly.
Yeah. And
if you're like dating multiple people and in love with all of them, like that's a
full-time job. Like, what do you mean? No, I have some friends who are like in the kink scene.
Right. It's their whole thing.
And I'm like, that's like being a golfer. It's like, that's like, go spend time with your family. You know what I mean? It's
those
like
golfers, they're not spending enough time with their wives.
No, the golf.
Tiger
if you're
Woods?
playing golf, go home. Like, that's if you're in the kink scene, like, you need to drink some electrolytes and like go be with your kids. Like, what are you talking about? It's just it's a huge amount of time.
We're just trying to say it's a huge amount of time. And it's so strange for people. Like, the idea of it is so strange. You have to ease people in. You can't be like, it's not natural and you haven't experienced true happiness. Like, you can't do that. You have to,
because they love to tell you to
they do
it.
So you have to ease people in. I think my version of what we do is like a way easier thing for people to understand. I'm not out there.
Yeah.
My door, our open relationship, the way I describe it is it's a cracked door.
Got it.
And if someone hot walks by my door and is like, you should come out here, then I'll go do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not like on apps.
Yeah.
I'm not looking. And the reason maybe I'll hook up with like 3 to 5 people a year.
Yeah.
Other than Jen. So it's very light. Like, it's super... What it really is an anti-cheating device.
Right.
It like, not that I've never cheated in a relationship, but like, it really just is like, it just makes, you're in touch with who you are as a single person while you're in a relationship, which feels very nice that you can be both of those people. Because that is your full self.
Yeah. I will say that is something that I struggle with in the abstract because I love like meeting people.
Of course you do. Literally everybody does.
Literally just, and just like being that level of available. It's not even like sexual. It's just like, I don't know. And then sometimes
you feel hot. When someone new thinks that you are hot, you're like, oh my God, I'm hot.
Right.
Like, I remember that I'm hot. I feel confident.
Right.
And then you bring that home, which is, you don't even have to hook up with that person.
Right. You just need to like feel the little the little hit. Do you guys ever get jealous?
Not really. I know. I think it's like if I hear details, that's hard.
Yeah. So it is still like
Yeah, of course. And I think the same thing for her. I think
mhm.
when she hears details, she gets a little jealous. But not, I know, I wish I had like a more cool, like a story and I could tell you how we worked through it. But I think
Yeah.
it's just like we got really lucky.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most couples, they don't necessarily like align perfectly on what an open relationship should be.
Yeah.
And we have pretty good alignment
Yeah.
that, no one feels like the other's away too much. Or I also think we're both super independent people.
Mm-hmm.
Jen has like this massive friend group and she's always going out with her friends and having a fun time and like doing lots of activities. She's always doing activities. I'm on the road. So like we're just really independent people. We don't hang out. We hate each other.
Right.
So because of that.
So it's like good to be in an open relationship.
Right,
when you hate your
exactly,
partner.
exactly, yeah.
That's kind of like a good workaround for that.
Yeah.
That's easy.
If you are going through a divorce, just open up your relationship. See how it feels.
Yeah.
That's the worst advice I could possibly give. Way to send your... Because I feel like now the thing with open relationships is it's like a step towards sending your relationship into the grave.
Oh, yeah.
For
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
people
people.
will like open their relationship instead of breaking up when they should have just broken up. And then it's like soft launching a breakup.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they're doing slander to like...
This is my thing with the poly. That's where my real phobia comes from. It's like, please get your shit together. It's always like a 23-year-old in Brooklyn talking about their poly lifestyle. You know who I want to hear from? I want to hear from like an 80-year-old couple.
Yeah, that's
being
been like open and poly
for 50 years.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm free and I'm good and I love my husband.
Yeah,
and...
exactly. That's who I want to hear it from.
Yeah.
Not kiosk with the septum ring and the purple hair. Sorry, no offense. You're my core fan base, and I love you guys so much. But like, please, you don't know anything.
Wait, okay. Speaking of your core fan base, I did your show this weekend.
Oh yeah, you did great.
Which was really fun, amazing.
They were a great crowd, though.
Fantastic crowd. I really had so much fun in that room.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you guys are listening, like definitely check out the Sunday show.
Oh, that's really
at
nice.
Sour Mouse.
Yeah, it's every Sunday. We need more straight people there. So.
Yeah, and you guys are my straight people can come to your gay show.
It is not a gay show, and you know it.
Okay, so it's not a gay show, except I have a joke where I say my type is a guy. I say the word my type is a guy. People go boo.
Did they boo?
Yeah.
Oh.
They went aw, like immediately. This is my opening sentence, and I literally like couldn't even say I'm interested in guys. Like literally couldn't.
They're
even say
actually the most heterophobic. They are more heterophobic than any straight audience.
Yeah.
Any straight audience is far more compassionate towards a gay comedian.
Yeah, they'll be like, great.
They
gay
get
comedian.
so mad, especially when it's someone that they're like. I think what actually happens is if you're on my show, you might be queer.
Right.
There are certain people that get up there and they're like, no way. Like, I think Andre Thompson was on the show with you.
Yeah, that's a straight guy.
That's a straight guy.
There's not really ambiguity there.
Yeah.
But I, like, broke them in for that. I was, like, the non-gay, and then they were like, okay, they're non-gays on here.
Right, exactly. And with you, because you are young and you are who you are, there's a possibility that you might be bisexual.
Sure.
There's a possibility that any woman under 30
is bisexual.
Could seriously be bisexual.
You know what my mom said to me once, speaking of this? She was like, with all these people who are bisexual, it's like, yeah, everybody likes sex, you know? And I was like,
Classic.
My mom's gay.
Your mother is gay. Your mother
my
is
mom
gay.
has short hair. Like, that's a gay woman.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
That's a classic old lesbian thing to do. I dated this girl who was like, her family was so homophobic. This is a while ago.
Okay, perfect.
And she came out to them and they were just not having it.
Ugh.
She's married now to a woman.
Oh, good for
family
her.
loves the new.
Yeah, there was just a hump.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was the first girl she dated.
Which is kind of your job. And your,
that's my
kind
job.
of your niche.
I do help people come out to their families.
That's
and I will be there for
beautiful. You're doing charity work.
That's
a tax write-off.
Yeah, seriously. Wouldn't that be great if that's like a nonprofit that I ran?
Yeah, like I'll date you.
I'll date you so you can come out to your family.
Yeah, I'll literally be the first woman to ever go down on you. It'll change your life.
I didn't say it.
I said it. You've gone down
feels
on me.
like-
No, I'm kidding. No, you haven't. But it did feel like when I said that you've gone down on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for implying that. And that's not true. Anyway, hey, so your stand-up
she came out. Her mom.
She came out.
Her mom was like, how could you do this? Yada, yada.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mom, it's not a choice. Like, imagine if I forced you to be with a woman. Like, how would that make you feel? And her mom was like, great. Like, yeah, we all want to kiss other women. My girlfriend had to be like, no.
No, you're not
we
supposed
don't
to say that.
Now you think it's a choice, and now I can't argue against you.
Yeah, now I get why it's a choice because you made the choice.
Yeah, exactly. This is why everyone thinks it's a choice because all of those people are somewhat gay. So they've like had gay moments, and they're like, well, I didn't choose my softball teammate.
Oh my God.
So you shouldn't choose this woman.
That's so
and it's
funny.
like, you make this difficult for me.
Yeah, that's tough. But now I get where she's coming from.
Since I went down on you.
Well, okay. No, and that didn't happen.
Could.
Yeah, Ashley.
What was that?
Ashley. Stop. Anyway, so back to how do we know each other? You're a stand-up comedian. I haven't even said that.
I don't know how we know each other.
Oh, wait. Actually, I don't know how we know each other. When did we first meet? It's not anywhere in my brain.
Sesh?
Maybe set. I don't know. That doesn't feel right. I don't know. We met through, I think probably Jamie and Lucas at some point.
Almost certainly Jamie and Lucas.
Had to be them. But anyway, we became friends. But
you know what really brought us close?
What?
When was having his emotional moment.
Yeah. One of our friends was having a hard time. And then that's when, actually, yeah, that is really when we became friends.
We really connected.
Because I was like kind of circling it around like to all of his close friends. And I was like, hey, anyone got
Your
eyes
close
on him?
friend is having an emotional moment.
I was like, anyone know where he is? Anyone got a text
Well, you
from
just
him?
made it.
And I was sobbing.
Yeah,
and
you were in a bad way.
I was in a real bad way. And then everyone was like being very comforting and good. But it was actually funny because like 3 out of 4 of us on the call in this like terrible moment in our lives, all of our lives, right? Like that was pretty tough, I feel.
Yeah.
It was, but we're all comedians. So
yes, we were making
like,
jokes about
the funniest jokes. Like I'm sobbing and laughing.
Yeah. This is what people don't
time.
get when they are like, if you actually lost someone, if someone in your life actually got hurt, or if this actually
some
happened to
tragedy
you,
happened in your life.
And it's like, no, what you don't understand is that there's a whole group of people making jokes as that tragedy is unfolding.
Yeah.
Because it's like the only way that we can
process it.
It is
and
not
like
the only way. I mean,
no, it's like, but for me,
it is a way that we process it and deal with it and like stay sane.
Yeah.
Making a joke and laughing is a way for you to like, stay sane.
Well, it's funny too, the saying that like comedy is tragedy plus time.
Yeah.
For comedians.
Wait, am I supposed to say my phrase?
What's your phrase? Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, so comedy, put a pin in that, guys. We'll circle back. But the saying of like comedy is tragedy plus time, for comedians, I feel like it's
the
nanosecond.
Comedy plus tragedy.
Comedy plus tragedy.
Yeah. Wait.
Time is nowhere. Minus time.
Yeah. Minus time.
We're just
tragedy minus time equals.
Time is a flat circle. Comedy's on top. We're just in like gallows humor, like fighting for our lives.
If you think like a comedian's joke is offensive in a stand-up set, go listen to their podcast. And if you think that's offensive, Go
to their real life.
Go to their real life.
Hang out with them for a minute. Like, it's literally the most insane thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, my most banger jokes, I feel like I write in truly my worst moments. Do you feel that? Is that what you're...
I feel like my worst moments are so much worse than yours, not to be competitive.
Hey, and you know what? Sure. Okay.
I think, well,
Hey, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Why don't we prove it? So,
see, I was funny so early.
because you were gay. Being gay and young is hard and confusing, I imagine.
You imagine?
That was part of it, but I think even before gay had entered my mind, I had like early trauma.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was all like, from a young age, I wanted to be an actor.
Okay.
I loved performing all around the house, just always like dad record me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because of that, you think?
Yeah.
But that's not like
But
a
then I had
super uncommon...
a few more traumas.
Okay. And
And now I'm like brilliant.
And now you're an incredible comedian.
Yeah, I'm like so talented.
So it's like good for you. You know, you made lemons lemonade.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on with this latest trauma. I'm trying to get some juice out of it.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. And every time something really bad happens to me now, I just go, well, I can't wait for this to be.
It's
I can't wait to see what I do with this.
right, exactly. It's different now though because healing was a really big thing for me. There was a moment in my life where I was like, oh God, I am so unhealed. I need to heal.
Yeah.
And then I healed and my ambition seriously
Suffered?
suffered. Because when you heal, you're like, oh,
You're like,
I
I'm
don't need to win
comfortable.
the love of millions of people.
For sure. One time I Googled, like, is it a trauma response to want to be a comedian? Or like want to be famous or something? And it was pretty much
Yeah.
Like it was like the internet pretty much
Remember,
said,
John Melany, before his big rehab special, was like,
Yeah.
I think around when Robin Williams died, and everyone was like, you know, talking about, wow, you really just never know. He seemed like this, but actually it was like this. Like
Yeah.
these stars, they have these traumatic
Huge, yeah.
backgrounds. And John Melany came out and was like, no, everyone stop saying this. Stop saying this about comedians. Some of us are fine.
That's
And then his rehab
hilarious.
special came out.
Yeah, and then which by the way was one of my favorite specials of all time.
Me too.
If you guys haven't
I
watched
really
it.
love that one. A lot of people were like, I don't like it as much as his other stuff. And I guess if you are a fan of the lighter, maybe you wouldn't be a fan of the darker. But I actually found it,
guess.
I like all of his work.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I think everybody does. But I really loved the latest one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who are your comedy idols? Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm at that point that a lot of comedians get to where you like everybody, even if you don't like them.
Yes.
You'll watch
I know
like
what you mean.
old Dane Cook and be like, this fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because you're like, it's so stupid. I don't know. They're just like pieces that you can take away that you're like,
Mhm.
I don't want to insult anyone. I felt like Dane Cook was like really the only one I could say.
Yeah, that's like pretty
Yeah,
universally.
yeah.
known.
But when I was young, I watched a lot of Chris Rock actually,
Oh, okay.
and I really love Chris Rock, and I really love Cat Williams.
Mm.
And I watched like a lot of black comedians when I was young. I really love like in the black like circuit, like those like in the South and in those rooms and stuff. I really love how animated the performances. The writing is also like really incredible, but like I feel like a lot of the white comics that I would watch, they didn't have that level of performance.
Yeah, it was a little more like stand and deliver.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. And then as I got older, well, I love Wanda Sykes too. I
Mm.
think for me, Wanda Sykes is like the perfect blend of like incredible writing and really good performance, but not like overly relying on the performance. I love Wanda Sykes. And I thought Ellen's 2004 special,
Mm.
Here and Now,
Okay.
is like one of the best specials ever.
Okay.
I'd like more like special. Sorry, this is so boring.
No, if you like comedy, I don't think it's boring.
Yeah. I like specials.
Okay.
Like I think more than an artist. Well, Chris Rock has so many good specials, but like Here and Now, I'm a Be Me, Wanda Sykes, 2009. Obviously, Ali Wong's Baby Cobra is
Yeah,
like
really good.
one of the greatest specials,
Super
if
good.
not the best special. I like Sarah Silverman's Speck of Dust. That was what the early Louis stuff. Sorry.
No, Louis, I think you
Early
can't
Louis.
Louis C.K. is like the person that made me want to do stand up.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because the way he does like dark comedy.
So good.
And he'll talk about like larger things. And I'm like, it's just so good. You know what's so funny? So you can say that around other comedians pretty much. Like,
You can't say it in front of normal people.
You can't say it in front of normal people.
Well, it depends.
It depends
on
who
the
they
people.
are. I think like now it's like coming a little
Sometimes
bit
you'll
back.
hear something you don't want to hear when you say it around people.
Wait,
when
like
you like
they're like,
Louis.
yeah, I love Louis.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
when
like,
they're
wait,
like, well, he really didn't do anything. And you're like,
yeah,
okay,
and you're like, okay,
wait,
well, not that. Like, no one's
not-
arguing he didn't do anything. Like, I don't think anyone's saying that, except if you're a man. No, I'm kidding. But no. Wait, where was I going with that? Oh, so I had that conversation with another female comedian where I was like, oh, well, you know, like I love Louis, like his comedy. Like I think he's like a brilliant comic. But, you know, like I'd probably never would I want to be alone in a room with him? Like, no, I don't know. And
I'd
then
love
she
to be in
goes-
a room with a bunch of other people with him.
Yeah, with like a lot of other people around, I'd totally
Like
do
a
it.
whole stadium.
She goes, oh, I would suck his dick. She was like, I'd let him jerk off in front of me. I'm like, who gives a shit? I was like, that's so funny.
I think the reason why it's hard isn't just what he did, but he was so dark with so much compassion.
Yeah.
Like it was always
Good way of
like,
phrasing it.
women are going to have to deal with a whole storm of dicks. Like bad dicks, that's what it is. Or bad sexual experiences.
Oh,
You know, something like, I don't remember the exact setup is, but
yeah.
it was like, oh, you're gonna have if you're a woman, you're gonna have a bad sexual experience.
Right.
You're gonna deal with a whole storm of bad sexual experiences. And he does like this whole act out of women just battling bad sexual experiences.
That's
And
great.
it's so funny. And he is the bad,
He's the
sexual,
bad sexual
experience.
experience.
And it's just like, it's
Yeah.
my hair stands on end that
Yeah.
you could be that self-aware
and still
and
do it.
still do it.
I think that is like the worst combo actually, because it's like you're aware.
You're
and you're still
totally
doing
aware.
it. I think
It's so different than like some young idiot who gets schooled and he's like, oh yeah, I'll never do it again. You know, like
okay, but here's the thing. I wonder if that person exists. Recently, that's
The
my
young idiot?
internal. Yeah, I think there's this narrative that like, oh, if only men knew what consent is.
Sure,
If only men knew that what they're doing is wrong. My experience is like, if a guy is that type of guy, they're doing it on purpose because they like it. Like it's a choice. So
like man, it just really blows my mind what straight women go through with men.
yeah,
I
know.
truly think I'd rather be a lesbian than a straight woman. Like genuinely.
Just like all things being equal. Just,
All things considered,
yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I would rather be a lesbian than a straight woman.
Yeah.
I'm like a consent maniac. I
That's
think I'm
good.
too far.
You know,
I've had women say to me, please stop asking.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
fair.
so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I've
but I
had
think it's
women
probably
who've
better
never
to be
slept with women ask me that because I think that they like feel self-conscious.
Mm.
That I'm like, are you okay?
I've had
Right.
that. You feel better than if it would be the opposite, but it's you're
Yeah, but it's still like a little
"Ah,"
weird, like
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yes, I'm in. Like let's just do it. you
Yeah.
know? Because you have like I love your sense of humor. I think you're so funny.
Thank you.
And you'll say like really like insane, like
Yes.
intense, like
Yeah.
like sort of like borderline like roast stuff at
Yeah.
times, and it's so funny. And then, but you're probably the only person I know that would go so hard in that direction on a roast, and then be like, "Hey, was everything okay when I said that?" like after. You're like, "Hey, actually, kill yourself. Wait, are you good?"
Well, that's what happened in the real thing.
No, I know.
You know, that's what I got canceled for, telling a girl to kill herself at a comedy show.
at a comedy show, like
That
in a
when she was
context
heckling.
of.
Yeah, and I had been doing jokes about the phrase "kill yourself," like as
Yeah.
a literary phrase.
Got it.
Right, so it was like building on like
Yeah. But yeah, I am that way because I feel guilty about everything. I have
Is that a post-cancellation thing, or is
insane
that a
guilt.
pre-
No.
Okay.
I have
You're always guilt.
guilt all the time.
Hmm.
Constant guilt.
Why?
My mother.
Okay. She made you feel guilty.
Yeah. Like when you feel like, first of all, Mom, if you ever see this, I think you're a great parent in so many ways, and we have come so far. I think that I grew up in a tumultuous environment where you never know what kind of environment you're going to have. And so as a kid, you blame yourself. That's what my therapist taught me. When you're a child and
Yeah.
like your parental figures are wild, you are like, okay, well, they're in charge and they know everything.
Right. So
therefore I'm
the
like
problem.
The thing that did something wrong.
Yeah. I had a degree of that. Not from my parents, but from another member of my family. But I do think that's something that also makes people like go to stand-up comedy too, is like a fundamental self-hatred. Like, I think you have to hate yourself like a bit.
Because no thoughtful, like no one who truly loves themselves would ever
expose themselves to that.
Yeah.
Because like
it's a weird emotional cutting that you're doing.
1,000%. It's
as a
straight
job.
up. People come up to me who haven't done stand-up and they're like, oh my God, that's like so brave. Like, is it so fun? Like, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's masochism. Like, I love
when people
stand-up.
call it brave, it's so weird to me because like, I literally don't have, like, I guess I remember when it was scary, just like the way, but I mean, my first time on stage.
Is so scary.
That was pretty scary. And I'd been on stage many times in theater things.
Yeah, me too.
But like still getting up there and being like, but it doesn't feel brave that I'm still doing it. You know what I mean? That feels like.
It's like embarrassing.
That is kind of like people who do parkour. Like maybe you jumped. It was so cool that you jumped down that like flight of stairs. Whoa, that was crazy. You're so brave. But then when you get back up and do it again, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not for the adrenaline. That's like something else is happening.
Yeah, that's like a compulsive thing. How long have you been doing stand-up? 11
years.
Wow. And how do you feel about it
12
now?
Maybe?
Whoa.
11. How do I feel about it?
Yeah, like how has your relationship to stand-up evolved?
Right now, it's in its weirdest form because of the cancellation.
Yes, makes sense.
For people who don't know, if you do choose to look it up, it's not going to look good. I'm just telling you right now. You're going to be like, why would Yvette ever hang out with me? So there's an edited piece of audio out of me just absolutely screaming at this woman. I mean, bad, but you can't hear her screaming back at me. And she's like sort of laughing and smiling during the interaction, which is why I thought
that it was okay.
Yeah. And also I had like asked her to be quiet and she like kept screaming. Right. Like I had been like, please stop, like before. And she like kept going. So I was like purposefully roasting her because I kind of thought she was in on it.
Which is also, can I just say, like, I remember when it happened and we didn't know each other then, but like we wanted to book you on one of my shows at the time. I remember.
And we did not.
No, we did.
We did not.
We did because one of my co-producers was like, oh, well, she's being canceled right now. And I like looked into it. And I remember scrolling through your videos and seeing the person like commentating, I guess, like on what happened, like telling her side of the story. And you were like, oh, like kill yourself, whatever. And I remember looking at your other clips that you had just posted right before that. And it was all just like
very similar
roast comedy. Yeah, like your thing was like calling people out, roasting them, like blah blah blah. And then this person, by her own admission, was like, "I'm a huge fan of Ashley Gavin. I was so excited to come to the show."
She wasn't.
She couldn't have been because I'm like, if I had come to that show, I would have known that coming to your show meant I might get roasted.
Well, the thing is, like, huge fan by definition. When it happened, I actually went to her profile because it had crossed my mind. I was like, she had no idea, and I looked through her. She didn't follow my co-hosts on my podcast. She didn't follow any of my guests. She did not follow like my affiliated acts, anyone that I had ever worked with.
Okay.
And like when someone's a huge fan,
then they like really are into your
right?
whole...
Like,
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I want to just say like, I know who my huge fans are.
Yeah.
I know who you are. You bring me weird little objects from one sentence that I said on a podcast 3 years ago to sign.
Right.
Like, you're like, I know you love bananagrams. I brought you bananagrams.
Aww.
Like, sign it. Like, that's what a huge fan does.
Yeah, that's true.
So while she may have been a fan, I just want to, from my perspective, I'm like, I'm not sure that she understood what was going to happen.
Or maybe she liked it when it was happening to other people and didn't like it when it happened to her.
All the time.
Which,
I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. But
that's
like,
a lot of
you know,
people.
I mean, I think at that point that requires a little bit of introspection like, on her part. Like, okay, well, it's like you sit a front row at like...
And also to comics and fans of comedy, the phrase kill yourself has no meaning. Like, it's a way to tell someone to shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
And
if you look
in
at
context, there's
you know, Bo Burnham said it. There was like a little bit of backlash. Matt Rife has a clip on his TikTok. It's on his TikTok with millions of views today. You can go look it up. Of a woman heckling him, about taking off his pants. And he says, if I do, will you hang yourself with my belt? Which to me, he's not as aggressive when he says it.
Right.
But that's a pretty graphic.
Oh, yeah.
If you
you're
know
painting a
someone who,
picture.
right. And by the way, I'm not against Matt Rife for saying that. I think he
Yeah.
had every right.
Yeah.
If someone heckled you to strip, that's not just a heckle.
That's also objecticing.
That's like very degrading. Yeah,
your art form.
And he feels very strongly about that. We know
Yeah.
that. So like, I think it was fine that he did that. But
Yeah.
there's like Troy Bond.
Yeah.
Scroll through his interactions.
Yeah.
I mean, they are incredibly graphic and incredibly aggressive, but no one ever
Yeah.
came after him. So
Right.
really what it was like an alignment issue
Yeah.
with my fan base at that time.
Mhm.
Now everyone's like amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone rocks. Like you saw that
Incredible
show.
show.
Great
like,
show.
Such a really, truly great audience. Everyone was so engaged. Everyone
Yeah.
was so supportive. Like I felt really like comfortable in that room. It was
Yeah.
really nice.
So what I have now is like really amazing. So right now for me, stand up, sorry to like really went
Yeah.
on a tangent there, but like stand up, like at first you're finding your voice for like 7 years, I think. And I didn't used to believe that, but now looking back, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had parts of my voice. And then I just wanted to be there was a phase that I was going through at that time where I was like, I just want to be so fucking, so undeniably funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care. Not that I didn't care what I was writing about, but I was like, when I had something, I was like, I want to have 100 laughs in 1 minute. I want people to be out of breath. I want them to pee. I want them to puke. And that's like how I was writing.
Yeah.
And then like I reached the end of that where I felt like, oh, I've written a few jokes and I'm like, that's it. Like, I don't think I can be funnier than that. And I realized that as a woman and as a gay person, didn't matter how undeniably funny I was still going to be put in this box. And then when the cancellation happened, that was double telegraphed to me. It was like, no matter who you think you are comedically, you are perceived this way. This is what people want from you. And if you don't give it to them, you're not going to be successful.
And by it, you mean like gay material?
Yeah, like gay,
like
clown.
I'm a gay. Oh yeah.
You know, don't say anything real, because if you hurt people, there are going to be people who push back and be like, that's not true. There are comics that do that. And John Melany, great example. A bunch of people were really kind of mad when he did his dark stuff.
Yeah.
And he did it in a very, I thought, light way,
Yeah,
honestly.
I would say it was light. I
Yeah.
mean, my definition of dark is also very far to the left.
Me
like,
too.
I really am like, I'll go for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
So now, and then it was all the like, you only do clips, you only like so much outside noise.
yeah.
So now I am like in this very unique position. Sorry if I'm rambling.
No, this is interesting to me.
All right, well, we'll find out from them.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get cut.
Chime in.
But I'm in this very unique position where the people who have stuck with me, they are like there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And most people who have an audience that you are able to take creative risks, those are like the Louis and the Chappelles. They're so big that it doesn't matter what they do. And I feel like I have this unique opportunity where I've been put in a position where I can do basically whatever I want.
Because
So-
the people that stuck around are with you.
Yes. Whereas my first special that I put out, 1 million views. Go watch it.
Go watch it. It's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Go watch it.
I was really proud of it, but I was like, first 15 minutes, I gotta stay cleanish. I gotta like do enough gay stuff to keep the gay people, but I have to do enough not gay stuff to keep algorithm. No. So now I'm like, why are you not just making whatever the hell you want?
Yeah.
Like literally whatever the hell you want,
Mm.
no matter how it turns out. Because you're lucky. You have enough success that you can actually produce this stuff and no one cares.
Mm.
I think what's holding me back is my own fear of failure, which is like, I put out a special that I was proud of and it got 1 million views. And now if I put something out, I have no idea how many views it will get.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm in an active phase with my comedy where I'm like, just make the thing. Just
Yeah.
make the thing that you think is interesting and who gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I was going to ask too, actually, because I'm kind of in a period of my life right now. I go in waves, but like sometimes I get the yips. like where I just kind of get a little bit like either too focused on the numbers of it all because,
Ugh.
you know, when you're like posting online every day, you're getting so much feedback
Yeah.
from that. And like it's hard to stay true to your authentic voice in that environment at times.
When that's what I'm struggling. I don't even know what. I feel like I found my voice and then
Yeah.
I lost it
That's how I feel.
because like everyone told me how horrible I am. When 20 million people
Ugh,
tell you how horrible you are,
it's insane.
you have to be a sociopath to be like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not horrible. At a certain point, you have to look inward and be like, is anything that they're saying valid?
Yeah.
If it is, what is it? Can you fix it?
Mm.
Or are the things that are bad about you are also what kind of make you good? And then you have to figure out that line of, okay, some of this is okay, but some of it is not okay. And I've been I've literally reflected on it every day of my life for several hours a day for almost 2 years.
Right.
Like, it is like really
yeah.
a weird.
Well, it's also not a natural human thing to ever go through. Like, there's no way our bodies are equipped to handle that amount of scrutiny or feedback.
And then it was also more really actually scary things like death threats and like anti-Semitic, homophobic, transphobic. I mean, truly like terrifying messages.
Yeah.
That people being like, I'm going to show up at your show. And when you're seeing that all at the same time, you actually do have to be like, do I need to be concerned about the safety of my gay fans? Like, that was a big thing for me.
Oh my
at the
God.
time.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So we didn't cancel any shows, but we hired extra security.
Wow.
I had to talk to ex-cops, which as a gay person, I was like, I don't love this. And this isn't like the best look for me.
Yeah.
But that's who does security. Anyone who's ever done security, like on a
Used to be
serious
a
level,
cop.
is an ex-cop.
So that's funny.
It was so funny. I got on the phone with one of the guys who I don't think is an ex-cop or he like has access to cops. I told him what happened. He goes, you want me to look her up? I can get all her information. I can get everything.
Whoa.
And I was like, no.
Yeah. Like,
He
just let it
offered,
rock.
this cop that I didn't know, offered, I think, to commit a crime to me within seconds of hearing about the thing. And I said no.
Good for you. Let her do her thing.
Let her live.
She had her 15 minutes. So now where does that leave you? Like, what is
With
your...
much less money.
Yes, for sure. Slay. But like, in terms of like the reflecting of it all, like where do you fall on that now? Do you feel like you behave differently in a positive way, in a negative way? How has your art changed?
My art. God,
I know you hate the word art.
No, I don't hate the word art.
She got mad at me because I described something that I do as art. And you're like, in your art. She's like, in your art.
No. I'm very mushy. I'm one of the people who thinks stand-up is art. And I know a lot of people don't think that.
Okay.
Because for a lot of people, it's not art. It's craft. But for some people, it's art.
Yeah, I think it depends on how you do it. I wouldn't necessarily describe my own stand-up as art. I definitely would err on the side of like craft. But the slow Zoom video series that I do, if anyone has seen it, I think is more art because it's it's not really like in a genre in that clean way where it's like, oh, this is comedy, this is tragedy. Like, it's more like,
I'm really sorry that
no, and that's fine. And
I hadn't
and
seen
you
them
don't
yet.
have to. Oh my God, no, totally. And you don't have to think it's art.
I do think that they're art. It just was funny because it is on Instagram.
And then I posted another one. Yeah, I know. But Instagram's actually like a really powerful medium. Can you stop? Don't do this.
I know that it is. I use it.
You can create in the medium and make art. I've seen it.
I know. You've done it.
I've done it. Thank you. Anyway, sorry. So where are you landing?
But come on, you have to be a little bit. I'm an older millennial.
Yeah.
It's a little bit funny.
Yeah.
To call it
Instagram video. I know.
Is what we're doing right now art?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've learned a lot as a person. I've gained some negative, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it positive.
Good.
I said a quote the other day that people were like, that's a crazy ass quote.
What is it?
I was like, I think I made a really cool quote.
It's something that
You know
said.
how Nietzsche was like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger?
That's Nietzsche?
I think it's Nietzsche.
That's not Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I know, because it's so overused.
Because that seems like something that Pitbull would say.
I'm getting it.
That's Nietzsche? That's crazy.
When your art is so good that it becomes a mainstream cliche, isn't that the worst? You know what I mean?
Has it happened to you?
Well, it happened to like Shake Shack. Like Shake Shack was like this cool little thing, and now it's in fucking airports.
That's so true.
It's Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I agree, but I think in the landscape that we live in today, where you can be so avoidant, it needs like an update. So
Okay.
I don't think that the things that are hard in life necessarily make you stronger unless you choose to exercise with the weight of them. Right?
Wait, that bars.
Thank you.
Wait, clip that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
No,
my co-host was like, did you just make that up? And I was like, yeah, did I say something good?
No, you said something amazing.
Because,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do with the cancellation. First of all, no one was prevented from committing suicide from coming after me. Full stop.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like, who are
And
you standing up for?
who is the beneficiary of this?
And suicide was never on the table, frankly, like for anyone in that scenario. Like that was not ever a suggestion.
I think a lot of people were like, how could you do this as a queer person? There's so many young queer people who get bullied. And first of all, a lot of those young people can't go to a comedy show just on a logistical level. They're too young. But second of all, it's an opt-in experience that you can leave at any time.
Yeah.
Bullying is a
Right.
relentless thing that you have to face every day. You have to go
Right.
back and
It-
face
it
your bully
finds
every day.
You.
Right?
Yeah.
So like a piece of art by definition cannot bully a person because at any moment that person can get up and leave. And if you are not in a state where you can go to a live comedy show, sit in the front row and interact with the comedian, knowing that that might trigger you, at a certain point, you need to be aware of what your triggers are because the comedian doesn't know that. The artist doesn't know that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And on my side of it, I fucked up. I went too far with a person who couldn't handle it. So, like, I know that.
Right.
And now as an artist, I'm like, I am aware of that every time I interact with someone. It has changed my approach with people.
Yes.
So, like, I'm aware of it at all times. But I don't think any other comedians are doing that work.
I think that's probably fair to say.
And it feels... I'm a survivor. I have a show about the night that I intended to kill myself. So it feels a little ironic.
That's like the thing that you're being
Yeah.
accused of. Yeah.
I joke about it because it's cathartic for me.
Right.
And for a lot of people, being told to kill themselves and they've tried is objectively hilarious because it's a reclaiming of
Of the thing.
the thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think that's like the source of all dark comedy, in my opinion, is like, it's the reason why I want to talk about things like eating disorders and sexual assault, like in my stand up, is because that's my life. Like, that's what happened to me. And I know other people have that experience.
And for 50% of the population, it's triggering and they think you're insensitive. And then for the people who fuck with you, they're there.
Right, exactly. And I think stand up is sort of a unique thing in that, like, it's not unique, but it's very subjective.
Yeah, it's
Like,
super subjective.
You don't have to find everybody funny, and you're just not gonna be funny to everybody.
And especially stuff that's in the room that's not meant for public consumption in the sense that, like,
Yeah.
it was like a heckle and a off the cuff interaction, which I later apologized for to her and like offered her a refund and stuff, but they cut that out of the
You did that even in the moment, and she still went after you.
Like a couple minutes later when I realized she was upset. Because I
frustrating.
fully did not know she was upset.
Right,
Fully did not know.
right.
And
also, I mean, even more so, like, you're literally on stage, she's in the audience, it's far away. It's like,
Lights.
it's hard to know.
Yeah, it's hard to know. But so in terms of like making lemonade out of lemons, that's what I'm like trying to do.
Right.
I'm trying to, the quote that I was going to bring in is comparison is the thief of joy. And I'm a big meditator.
That's awesome.
Whatever. But like any expectation that you have that you should be like this person or has what this person has, what I've been dealing with ever since it happened to me is I look back at my own, my comparison is me, what I used to have.
Yes.
It's hard.
That's super hard.
So, and I know no one cares because I'm not the victim. That's the other thing. You can't talk about it because if you talk about it, you look defensive and like you don't care about this person.
Right.
Of course I care about the person.
Yeah, of course.
That's why I was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, do you want a refund? Like,
Right.
do you want to talk after the show? Of course I care about her. But there were ramifications on my own life.
Right.
And so, you know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like,
Yeah. And I think also like in stand-up, people maybe don't understand like it's part of the work of stand-up is failure on stage in front of a room full of people constantly. And it's like, so for us, like we'll say a joke that doesn't go well and we go, okay, I learned and I'm not gonna do it again.
Well, the other problem is that was going well. Everyone was laughing.
Well, right. So
including from my perception, her.
Right.
So like I really didn't.
So it was just like a whole thing.
Yeah.
It just spiraled.
But yes, you're saying exactly the correct thing, which is like we say horrific things sometimes that we think there's like a moral message behind, or we think it's ironic, or we think it's satirical.
Or we think we're saying something that once you say it, you realize you're not being clear.
Yes.
Or it doesn't come off the way you meant. But the only way to find that out is to say it, and to say it to like a lot of people.
I think that's why the comedy audience is so specific. People who love comedy, they know a little bit about that process.
Mm-hmm.
They go to shows, they go to indie shows, they see comics come up with the notepad.
Especially in New York, I think it's like really fun to work in New York because people have like sort of an understanding of that.
Yeah. Whereas if you're only consuming content online or from Netflix specials,
right,
you have no understanding of. Yeah.
And you think that like Taylor Tomlinson just did that. You know, she just woke up, wrote an hour, and just performed it. But you don't see her like what people do behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, can I tell you what I want to do with it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to write something. I don't want it to be self-centered. You know, I don't want it to orient totally around me. But I think the experience of being legitimately canceled for a legitimate not crime, like the public shaming of a behavior that could theoretically anyone, depending on how you see the behavior, some people see it as this blow up monster moment, a bad moment. Other people see it as a joke gone wrong. But like it falls in the realm of human behavior. It's not like what we've been talking about, sexual assault.
Right. It's not, you didn't stab someone.
Right. So like, but we all now live in an environment where anyone can go like that. Anyone can screenshot your text messages.
Yeah.
Anyone can look at a bad caption in an Instagram. And I think, how does that affect us as a society? And I think it has affected us way more than we already know.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what led to the extremism that we now live under. Because you can only say the thing that you know is going to play to the base. You can't have nuanced discussion anymore. You cannot be in that gray. If you're in that gray, the base comes after you. Even on like a personal level. There are people who have to leave their colleges because of weird things that have happened to them.
Yeah.
Communities, particularly in the gay community. I have gotten so many messages.
And honestly, even like right now, us talking about it, I'm like nervous to even say anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm like genuinely like, it feels,
of course
things
people
that should be.
You're safe. People have moved on. They're not going to come after my affiliates. They've already done that.
Oh, no. I mean, not even you. Like, literally this topic of, like, talking about the way that we talk to each other, like, almost feels, like dangerous to talk about.
Right?
But
because the response is, why would you be afraid of what you say if you're on the correct side?
Right. But the
fact that you even have
is there's
fear.
a correct side, too, which...
And the correct side is always the extreme of the belief system.
Right.
Which is not a good thing.
No.
I'm pretty leftist, but we're getting to thought police. We're almost there.
Right.
We're so close.
But then the pendulum swung like totally on the other side.
On the other side.
But then they're kind of doing the same thing. They're using those same like tools back on. And they were like, their whole thing, like the whole red party was like, oh, it's like you can't say anything anymore. I mean, that was like the joke of it. And then now they're literally like doing the same thing. They're like trying to ban books. They're trying to. like police stuff. I was listening to a podcast today about like gay books in schools and there's like a Supreme Court case about it. And it's just like
And
about
it's
what parents'
because
rights are. And
those moderate Republicans will lose their job if they don't fall to the base. And like, as much as I'm not a Republican, don't we all want a moderate Republican as the president right now? Like, wouldn't we be so lucky?
I know.
Shouldn't we be so lucky to have George Bush?
We were joking about, me and my friends last night, we were joking about how like, damn, we really missed out on Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Because like we got him on Binders of Women. Do you ever think about that?
That's what I'm fucking talking about!
I think about this every day of my life. That's my Roman Empire.
He said Binders of Women and it tanked him.
And think about now, and then we got grab him by the pussy instead.
Yep.
It's like crazy. And he was for socialized medicine. He like did that successfully in Vermont.
I didn't even Utah probably.
Where was he from? I don't even remember.
I think Utah.
I was young. But yeah, he was like pretty middle.
Yeah.
Like he stood for like legit like things that are now like Democratic left. Like
yeah, it's crazy. And there are going to be people. There's really good arguments I read from a really great comedian. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to shit on him, but I read a quote that's like, I don't want to meet people where they are because they're hateful and we're accepting and tolerant and lovely. And why would I want to meet these other people where they are? Right. And it's like, because look at what happens when none of us communicate with each other.
Right. It just gets more hateful on both sides.
It gets more hateful on both sides.
Yeah.
And seeing, I don't mind if he doesn't have a willingness to do it, but I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to go talk to people.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what it really means to be? Sorry, I'm about to like.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I am proud of as a gay woman is that when I was young, had to tell my mother that I was gay. Are we running out of time? Oh,
no, keep going.
I had to tell her that I was gay. I had to experience her fear and hatred of me being gay. And I continued to love her.
Yeah.
And I let her come around. And she apologized.
Wow.
Now she did a pride video with me on my YouTube.
Oh my God.
What if I hadn't met her in the middle?
Yeah.
How are we as gay people, we more than anyone know what it means to forgive someone and then allow them to change their views?
Yeah.
Like, why is that not the mantra that we live by?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Sorry.
And people, no, I mean, people can change.
They can.
And they probably won't change right away.
Exactly. That's the other thing about this cancellation. I have had to absorb so much information to take away how I really could have prevented that.
Right.
And I could have prevented it. I made mistakes that I hope I will never make again.
Yeah.
But it took me a long ass time and it did not help to have people like, also, I'm going to kill you.
Right. And then also that negates like whatever gripe they had in the first place. Because if you go that far in the other direction, then it's like, well.
Yeah. What if I just been,
that could have
fucking called up Fox News?
Yeah. You're like a good person, so that didn't radicalize you. But it really could have.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think this has sort of been an amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Because, like, I think you're
you're gay now?
First of all, I'm gay after this. If you want to just, like, get out of here together. Stop. Don't look at me like that. You can't. Okay, no. No, I think it's you're such an intelligent person.
Oh,
and
thank
you've
you.
gone through so many different like eras of your life. Like we didn't even touch on this, but like you literally were a software engineer at one time.
Yeah.
Like you have a startup that you're doing, and like you're also such a profoundly successful comedian, and you've been so resilient. And I think you're I think you're so successful, and I think you're doing art. And you're making me gay, which is cool. So that's exciting for me. But
It's exciting for me.
Anyway, so it's just like okay. Okay.
Didn't I go down on you already?
Only in my dreams. So
Yeah, you guys are both excited.
this is like me and that guy at the party right now.
This is except that I'm sort of faking it, and I thought you were sort of faking it.
I'm faking it. So, We should go to Aritzia after this, though.
We should go to Aritzia. Pick up some hats.
I wingman you at Aritzia.
Just sitting in the... I got hit on by a bi girl at Aritzia once.
That's awesome.
She brushed my arm the way that guy brushed your arm.
Whoa.
Long. Collarbone to pinky.
That's incredible.
Brush.
Okay. Did you talk to her after that?
Not really.
Okay.
I was just like, thank you.
Yeah, that's nice. But anyway,
You're
so
being really nice, and I thank you. I think you
yeah.
are very intelligent, great comic.
Thank you. But like,
You've
as
barely begun.
Yeah, I know. As like a younger comedian, it's like really cool to talk to people who've been doing it for a while and sort of just like gain the wisdom.
I'm like a grizzled road dog.
Yeah, well, you can see it in your face. No, I'm kidding. I'm ribbing ya.
I got a gua sha immediately.
We'll get Jen to gua sha us both after this podcast episode. But so something that we do.
This is me being gua sha.
It is so fun to gua sha a partner. Have you ever like she hasn't done it to you?
How could you possibly roast me for the tickle thing when you are gua shaing your partners?
No, I like to do it to boys because they don't know. They just are like, "What's happening?" And it's like really fun.
You're gua shaing a partner.
Yeah,
and
I just
I'm not
go.
allowed to
I
get a
go.
little
Come here,
tickle.
and I just
Ticklers, do not forget to write in the comments that you enjoy. I'm not talking about tickle like when you're a kid. I'm talking about a nice scratch. I'm talking about a pleasant.
That's a different thing than tickling, I
no,
think.
but I know what you're saying, and I still don't like it. It still made me more.
Have I
cute.
changed your mind?
Maybe. I'm more on that side. But
What do
just
you
like a
call it?
straight up tickle, I don't know. I don't call
Not
it
a
anything.
straight up tickle. No one's straight up tickling a forearm.
Yeah, all right.
I don't want to talk. I can't. The visual of it. Mm-mm. But anyway, so this brings us to my last point of the podcast, which is, what are some things that you've always said?
Oh, yeah. Well, the one that I said, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, that's a good one. And that's a really good one in our industry.
In our industry, but I think also it's just sort of like a basic, and I'm saying it because I'm so bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that I have to say.
Like a mantra you have to remind
every
yourself
day,
of. Yeah.
because if I will forget.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's just like, I think it's a version of expectations create suffering, which is like a Buddhist thing, right?
Oh, for sure.
But like, because if
Attachment
you think,
is suffering.
yeah, attachment is suffering. Thank you. But yeah, I've definitely said that. Kill yourself is another thing that I've always said. I've been saying it less lately.
Yeah. Not none, but less.
Not none, but less. Do you not like these things? I can go more. You
No,
want more?
these are good. Well, we just touched on
I do like
few
a
of them
lot
already.
of like art. Like I have like a fair amount of like quotes about art that I
Really?
love. Well, have you seen The Gap by Ira Glass? The video, the visual presentation of
No.
it? If you're a beginner artist, that the gap between your taste and what you're making is huge. And that's when most artists quit because they're like, their taste is killer, but this is not so much a quote. This is more just like a thing I remember.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah. So great. If you're creating anything, art or not, you're going to hate the thing that you make until you're good. And you just you have to close that gap is really, I love that.
That's
I said that to my girlfriend when she first started acting and she cried. She like burst into tears. It's such a visceral thing to know that your art sucks compared to what you know is good.
Right.
Yeah.
But the people that did that great stuff, they started where you started.
They started very bad.
Yeah. You can't start good. Like, that's a myth. You have to fail and fail and fail.
And some art forms, it's so much easier because you've been like drawing since you were a kid. You don't remember when you were really bad. But comedy,
you remember when you were bad.
You remember when you were bad.
It was tough for a while.
It was yesterday.
And you have to bomb. Yeah, literally. And you bomb frequently and periodically. And like, I remember, like, also the funny thing about stand-up too is that when you first start, the only people that will come and see you are your friends and family. And that's when you are the worst at it. So it's like you're bombing.
I know, my mom hasn't seen me in years.
No, literally.
My mom has not seen me in years.
No, my parents don't come to my shows anymore because they're like, oh yeah, you don't need us. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know. And also I kind of don't want them to like come and see me like work. You know, I'm just, because I'm talking about stuff, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really need them there. But, like, when I was legitimately so fucking bad.
Horrific.
They're there in the audience, like, ha, ha, ha. Like,
yeah. And no one else is there, by the way.
Yeah, it's literally
It's everyone else's moms.
You're doing a talent show.
Yeah.
And for a while.
Yeah.
And thank God that changes. And
people bringing their friends to the open mic, that one.
Dude.
Who?
Tough.
Why did you think that was a good idea?
No, I know. And also because your friends want to come because they have no idea what they're getting into.
Totally.
And then you're like,
And then-
that's how you know
Then someone gets up there and like says just the most, you think kill yourself is bad? The most heinous things that you've,
ever heard.
like, I cannot repeat them.
Yeah.
That-
And I've said some pretty bad stuff at the beginning
yeah.
too. Like really like I thought I was doing something and like saying just absolutely fucked up stuff.
Yeah, I have jokes that I look back on where I'm like, why did you think
Yeah, what was that about?
that wasn't just kind of a hateful thing to say?
Right. Because you like think you're being subvert because it's the Gap.
Yes.
Because it's like we grew
Yes.
up watching like Louis C.K. talking about like nuanced stuff that you're like, and you're like, oh, well, I can do that today. And then you don't realize like that he's a grizzled comic that
Yeah,
worked
yeah,
for years and years and years to get to that point.
Yes.
So-
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
But anyway.
That is it. Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming.
This was awesome. It's a great pod.
I really loved
You kind
having
of let me
you.
just talk, so I think that's why I think it was
No,
awesome.
I know, but I also love hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay.
I appreciate
Do you
that.
have anything else?
I love hearing what you have to say.
Hey.
I just
stop.
said yeah in response to hearing what you love. I love hearing what you have to say. I went, yeah, you do. Yeah.
of course.
No, I
That's
think
kind of my thing.
what plug?
Do you want to plug? Yeah,
If
plug.
you enjoyed me, you're not an idiot. Go find my things.
Ashley
Google
Gavin.
my name. I am going to Philadelphia this weekend. The late shows probably won't be sold out, but the
Wow.
early shows might be.
Beautiful.
And then I'm going to San Francisco in 2 or 3 weeks.
Which
what-
club are you doing?
Cobb's, just Cobb's.
Let's go. Cobb's is so fun.
Cobb's is fun.
Great room.
I was at the Castro Theater last time I was there,
Is that bigger?
but Cobb's will be great.
Okay. Comparison is the thief of joy. And also, yeah, definitely check out Ashley on socials and definitely see her live. She's incredible. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.